Not Andre.
That's me.
That's you. Not Andre, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. The Avs play soon. We're going to the game.
We are going to the game.
I've just been drinking coffee all day, and then I'm going to switch over to alcohol, and it's just going to put me in the perfect place for this game.
Nice combination of uppers and downers.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's all going to finish off with a nice upper with the Avs.
Nice.
Yeah.
We love to see that.
We do.
I have a couple of questions for you. One, can you quickly tell the story of why we're going to game 2 and not game 1?
Well, the key point is that it's not my fault. But what happened is basically it's not my fault, Allie. But yeah, so I thought that I had tickets to game 1. Actually, I had tickets to game 1 and game 2. I wasn't supposed to be able to buy tickets to both. I said I want the game 1 tickets, and they gave me the game 2 tickets and all that kind of stuff. Shortly before game 1, I realized we did not have those tickets. Luckily, the timing still worked out for everybody.
There was a very real chance in the world that we showed up at Ball Arena for the wrong game.
It was, minus odds? Even?
Yeah, I would say it was minus odds. All right, my second question for you. This was discussed on the DNVR Broncos podcast this morning, and I just kind of wanted to get your general thoughts on it. I think it's weird that we as a society have not normalized canned ham, as in Spam, but we find it to be totally normal to have canned tuna fish.
Interesting. So actually, I hadn't had a tuna fish sandwich in forever. Last time I went to the grocery store, no lie, got 2 cans of tuna, and I ate the first one. It was incredible. And
stuff.
It is really good, and it's high in protein.
Sure.
Yep, I think that's right. Meanwhile, so my dad lived in Hawaii for a bit. Spam is a huge thing out there.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of listeners say fried Spam
Yep.
is very good. They're from
It has to.
Yeah. Right. I don't know what the difference is. I just feel like a fish, a fish is different than an animal when it comes to eating it. And I can't explain exactly why, but it absolutely is different. And putting it in a can and keeping it for a period of time, it does turn me off. I've been kind of anti-Spam, but if we were going to fry it, I would eat it.
I trust people who like if a culture of people like something, I'm just it has to be good.
Yeah,
And
you're more adventurous though.
That is true.
You had those cricket tacos.
I did.
So
eat
that's
a
too
cricket
far.
Taco.
And you claim to like it.
No, I didn't. I said it would be fine as a topping on a taco, but it being the whole taco, it was like eating a Fritos taco.
Yeah, except
it's just crunch on top of tortilla with no juiciness.
I don't know. See, that stuff just goes too far.
All right, let's get to the bets.
Okay.
Who first?
Let's see.
Beef expensive in Hawaii.
Let's start with Dre's because he's not here, so we'll just get his out of the way real quick. Dre's Big 3 is not available right now. There it is. All right, he's got Mac to score, which I love. Avs over 3.5 goals, which those two are kind of relying on each other, I would say.
Yeah.
And Man Rocket over 2.5 shots on goal, minus 139. Good value. He did a good job of finding value on the Avs here. I feel like that was his main goal.
Yep.
Was how can I find a little bit of value here? And I think he gave you 3 pretty good value picks. I never bet on people to score because I always say, why bet on the puck going in the back of the net when you can just bet on the puck hitting somewhere near the net?
I can't argue. Can't argue with that logic.
So, but I like the value here. I think he said Mac has scored in 6 of 9 games against them this year, maybe even more than that. So,
I believe that Dre said something like that.
He did.
That sounds that's such a Dre thing.
It's total Dre statement. All right, let's go to Henry's.
Yeah, so I did a little bit worse job finding the value with the Avs to win in regulation, but they're going to win in regulation. It's minus 200. Sure, it's not the greatest juice, whatever. I just really think the Avs are going to win, so put some money on that and just don't overthink this. Make your money. If you do want to overthink it a little bit, though, which I did, you take the Avs to sweep at plus 230. Watching that first game.
Putting it in.
Yeah, watching that first game, I felt like I had to balance out that minus 200, because it is a little bit, it's not juicy at all. But once you, I don't know, the Avs to sweep, when you just watch them play, I'm going to be betting on them winning every game, and I just feel like this is going to happen.
This is the nice thing about having Hank here is he doesn't have to be on the show tomorrow to answer for this. So
It's true.
He always gets he can get a little more risky.
It is true. I like to call it risque, but whatever. Nazem Kadri over 2.5 shots. This was like a group thing. We've been getting good vibes from Kale on this one, getting good vibes from Rudo. I kind of let the vibes sit for a bit. I was like, yeah, you know what? I do like this. To be quite frank, you could talk me into any Avs bet tonight. I just think that when you look through, that's a decent one. Somebody's got to be taking the shots on that line, and I think it's going to happen.
This is a guy who was really brought here for these type of situations. And it's easy to forget that now just because it seems like forever ago when he was brought here. But this is like, he was a guy who was brought in with playoff experience, kind of give this team an edge. And he hasn't been playing great of late. But I think the playoffs, eventually sometime in the playoffs, it will be the time for him to get it right. All right, let's go to mine. All right, I'm going a little more risky. Again, chasing value here on the Avs. Looking for just something that's fair. And at -1.5, -125, I think that there's value there. These types of things oftentimes come down to an empty netter, which can be exhilarating.
Yeah.
It can be exciting. It can be heartbreaking, but it's always fun. So if the Avs are up 1 late, you're going to get a chance at it. I hope, and I kind of feel like it won't even be that close.
I know, and I do like that bet, and I just about took it, but then I kind of overthought it because I was like, well, what happens when you take a -2.5? And it's like +145. That's not quite enough for me to go more extreme, and I just talked myself out of it, but I do think that's a good one.
Yep. This is not a value pick at all, but I just think it's going to cash, so, you take your free money. Mikko Rantanen over 2.5 shots, -200. He had a bunch the other night. I want to say at least 5, but I think it ended up being more than that. Ton of shots on goal for him. This top line is absolutely just a wrecking ball.
8 total points last game.
Yeah, they're just a wrecking ball when they get out there right now. And the Blues don't look like they can really skate with them, so I think everyone's going to have their chances out there. Mikko probably should have had 2 goals the other night.
Yes.
So,
Rudo took Mikko to score first tonight.
ooh.
Good to know. I'll be taking
We
that
like
too
that.
then.
Henry's just taking everything.
That was my strategy with this Avs game.
I'm going to
Take
say it's a sauce pass from Mac on the power play. Mikko, slapper, top right corner.
That's probably like plus 1,400.
to,
All that.
to describe it perfectly.
Plus 1,600.
I think I should get better odds than that.
I think so.
I think like plus
The
12,000.
saucer pass is what really does it.
Right.
Yeah.
So the pass has to leave the ice.
Yep.
For it to count.
Yep.
Last one here, non-Avs pick. Am I the only one to have a non-Avs pick today?
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know what I'm doing either. Steph Curry over 5.5 threes, -155. I just think he's going to shoot like 20.
I mean, sometimes you like look at playoff series, and this is one game, not a series, but you look at playoff series, and you're just like, well, this could happen or this could happen. Like they could try more Aaron Gordon. They could give it to MJ. With the one and done with the Warriors. We all know the strategy is Steph, go shoot the ball a bunch, and if he does that, he's going to make a bunch of shots.
Did you see that there's no categorization to where these games go?
Yeah.
Like, NBA, just decide something. Is this a regular season game? Is this a playoff game?
Is this permanent?
Well, I just mean like, so like Jason Tatum
Yeah.
or something, he had 50 last night. Someone said like, well, his playoff career high is still 41. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
This is his new playoff career high. It was the definition of a playoff game.
At the same time, though, like my thought on all that stuff is like, I don't really care. It's a team game. Did you win the game or not? Are we getting a little too bogged down into who did what?
I need a folder. We need a folder to put this stuff in.
Yeah. In the past, though, like 50 years ago, nobody would be talking about like, oh, what does this count as? It's just like, this is basketball. This is what happened. I don't know. But yeah, there should be a place to put it.
We need a folder.
Yeah. The folders play in games.
I don't like that folder. I don't want a new folder. I want to put it in an old folder.
Then I'm very sorry. My thoughts and prayers.
But yeah, I mean, I think Steph is just going to be a flamethrower tonight. Like,
yeah.
He's either going to be on and it's going to be close, or he's going to be off and they're going to get blown out.
And he's going to shoot even more threes.
He's going to keep shooting.
Yeah.
There's no, I mean, Dre was saying like this might be a situation where their defense is so equipped to handle the Warriors that like Steph's just crossing half court and chucking.
Seriously, I think that might actually happen.
Yep. All right, before we move on, a shout-out to DraftKings Sportsbook, where you can get a sign-up bonus up to $1,000 when you use the code DNVR. And this week, we are hammering the over. The way that works is for every 1,500 users that bet on the over in Dallas and the Clippers, we lower the point total 1 point. So we are down to 80 points. This is a lock. It is a guarantee already, so you might as well just get in there and keep lowering this thing. It should get all the way down to 0 by the time we're done here. But either way, you want to get in on it because it's free money. You can bet $25, and you're just going to get $25. Like everyone who's in this room right now should make sure they have their bet in on that, so we get your free $25. And we'll hammer this thing all the way down to 0. But again, you can also get a sign-up bonus up to $1,000 when you use the code DNVR at sign-up. Of course, you must be 21 or older, Colorado only. Bonus comprised of a first deposit bonus and a first bet match, each up to $500. Deposit bonus requires a 25x playthrough and restrictions to apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
That was off the top.
It was off the top of the head.
He always does it off the top.
I do always do it off the top of the head. Just putting on a little show for Hank. He's not, he's not used to being in the presence of greatness like that.
I'm just hoping it wears off.
It might. It might. Okay. Other things I want to talk about here with you today. Do you have any leanings in the PGA Championship?
I mean, so here's what I'll say. My strategy for the golf tournaments that I bet on, which is obviously like the 4 majors plus maybe 4 more throughout the year, where typically it's like the off season for other sports. And it's like, yeah, this is what I'm going to pay attention to. I like to pick 1, maybe 2 guys before the tournament. And then after each round, take 1 more.
Okay.
And sometimes, like, I haven't seen what's happening here, but like for the Masters, there was a boost every day. Mm-hmm. And so I'd use that on that. To start things off, though, I mean, Colin Morikawa. I know he's your guy. This is what I asked you earlier. Have you been thinking about this? Because what I'm feeling, it's always going to be Colin Morikawa or Justin Thomas. That's my first one, depending on how risky I want to go. And if it is 2, it's those 2. And then from there, it's like you watch and somebody gets hot and you're like, you're 5 shots back, but you're good. Or you're like up near the top, but your odds are still good because golfers think you're bad. So I know that's not like the greatest pick, but it's a strategy that it keeps you invested all weekend.
Guy comes on my show and gives out my guy.
After asking you for permission earlier.
He did. But I thought it would be a better bit to just let you say it and then get mad at you.
I know, and you should have seen it coming.
You should have. All right, well, since you took my guy number 1, I'll just give out my guy number 2.
Kale's right there. Kale, wave.
There he is.
Don't get so close, though. I thought you were going to slap me.
I'm going to give out Tony Finau. He's so due. He is so due for a major.
Or is he bad? Not bad.
No.
Is he not good enough to win a major?
No, he's definitely good enough to win a major.
Okay. Well, then I'm in. I'll take that, too.
I'm a big Tony Finau guy.
I've heard, yes.
And then the other one I would roll with is Justin Thomas. Those are like, I don't know. It's funny because like in hockey, no one ever says like, Ryan, you always give out the same picks every time. It's the Avs, like
yeah.
But in golf, like I have my guys, so I'm just gonna keep giving out my guys.
And they're your guys because they've won you money in the past.
That's true.
Like that's how that happens. And then you just keep betting and things generally go well, so you stay on the train.
I will say if you want like legitimate PGA picks, tune in to Big Drive Energy.
So, yes.
Spencer and Mitch like actually put thought into their golf picks. Mm-hmm. So they'll give you like, oh, this guy's shoots an average of 68.7 at this course or whatever. Like,
yep,
something much better than just like,
that is true.
I like Colin Morikawa and Tony Finau.
Also, it's like looking through these odds. It's like Gary Woodland sitting there at plus 9,000.
I always fall.
I know. I was just about to say, I always fall into the Gary Woodland trap.
The Woodland
every single
trap,
time.
The Woodland trap gets critters of all sorts.
He helped me that first time. We don't need to get deep into the story of why I took him, but I took him and he won the U.S. Open, I think that was. And ever since, he's just lost me money. Sung Jae Im at plus 8,000. That's another one to consider if you don't want to go with our guys. Zalatoris at plus 5,000. He's fun.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, but yeah.
The Gary Woodland trap, dude.
I know. Yeah.
Gets you every time. Like, every time I see the odds, I'm like, I think he's better than this.
I think
And then
every time.
he's just not.
He used to be though.
He has his moments.
He does.
You know, as you say in golf to try and make it seem like you know what you're talking about. Great ball striker.
Yes.
But
yes.
it's actually true. Like, he's really good with his irons and stuff. Just for some reason, it's not a complete game.
Yeah. The other thing that I do a lot when I bet is just take Bryson DeChambeau. Not like a full unit, but just like something on him so that if he goes through and wins, just because it feels like that. Exactly. Just so it's almost like a hedge before the tournament even starts.
Yep. Okay, let's go through some of these odds boosts today. Grizzlies and Lakers both to win plus 170.
Yeah. I mean, I would just put a bet on the Lakers.
I actively don't bet on the Lakers, so
I also have not bet on the Lakers all year.
Yeah. Golden State Lakers 2+ 3-pointers made in the first 3 minutes. Now this is a fun one. Plus 145.
I do
2 or more. That has to hit.
I mean, first 3 minutes. So how many basketball games are there where it's like, oh, it's 6-2?
Mostly just college
Even
basketball
less.
games.
Yeah. I don't know. I do think that Steph's going to come out firing though.
I mean, they're gonna try to get him as many looks as possible early.
Yeah, and at the very
Also,
least,
like,
it's a fun one.
KCP is gonna hit one.
I hadn't thought about him in a while.
Yeah.
Ugh. But yeah, I do like that. It's gonna be fun, especially like those first 3 minutes. Like, I know betting's about winning money. At least that's what you guys always say on the show, and say that I'm wrong.
No. I always say the opposite of that.
Okay, well, I remember vividly. Maybe that was mostly Dre. It was Dre.
Betting
it was
is
Dre.
all
Yep,
about
never
just
mind.
having more fun while watching sports.
Yep, and this does exactly that.
If you want it to be about winning money, there's a way higher chance of you having a bad time.
Dre will be back tomorrow.
We just happen to always hand out winners just because it's in our blood. But
exactly.
Sports, betting on sports is all about just having more fun while watching the game.
Yeah, I agree.
And being invested in the first 3 minutes to watch them shoot threes, it's kind of fun.
Especially in an NBA game where you're like, oh, the game starts at halftime or the third quarter, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
This is good. I'm
Get
in
you
on
in.
that.
Me too.
All right. Ja Morant to score over 25. I don't trust his scoring abilities.
No.
They've got the first 3 minutes bet in San Antonio and Memphis. See, I'd be a lot less confident in that one.
Yeah, I would too.
But the odds
no
are
Steph.
way better.
Basically double.
Yep. I just
no. It's not, we've got one of those already.
And then this is crazy how low this is, but it's because his over-under set at 35.5, I think.
Yeah.
Steph Curry to score 40 or more at plus 200.
I'm kind of in.
I'm
Again,
out.
If you're looking for fun, I'm not willing to bet on the Warriors because I don't think they're going to win. I'm not willing to bet on the Lakers because
The Lakers.
Yeah, and so if you want something to root for, pulling for Steph to score a bunch of points is a fun one. Plus, I do think that's the game plan, and he is more than capable. I wonder. Let me pull up. What has he been scoring recently?
I mean, he's been scoring crazy, but I think like the Lakers are a talented enough team to be able to say like we're just not gonna let one person beat us.
Yeah.
Although they might just say,
this is
like,
tight. Yeah.
What's he have in the last 5?
So 46 in his last game, 21 before that, 36 before that, 49 before that in only 29 minutes.
So he's gone over 40 in 2 of the last 4.
Yeah, and then 1 of 3 before that. That's a solid odds. And again, they're just going to shoot more with him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they get down. It's fun at the very least.
Here's an interesting one. Cameron Smith to be the top Australian player at the PGA tournament or PGA Championship. Who else? Then we'd have to do research on who the other Australians are. Jason Day.
Tony Finau?
No.
Where's he? He's American.
He's from Utah.
That is not Australian at all.
No.
I don't even know where they're from.
The only one I can think of is Jason Day.
Yeah. The thing about those bets, though, like, I feel like that's one where he can just take himself out of it. Where it's like he doesn't even make the cut because he has a tough couple of days. And that's why it's like,
Speaking of making the cut, DeChambeau, Dustin Johnson, John Rahm, and Jordan Spieth all to make the cut, plus 150. I I can't do a 4-leg parlay for plus 150.
I know. And again, it's a fun one. It gives you guys to watch. They're going to be in the featured groups, I'm sure. Like, that gets you some action the first couple days. But yeah,
someone will blow this.
Pick your own guys. Pick your own guys to make the cut if that's the way you want to go. Personally, again, I just pick a winner every day.
And bet on them separately because someone will blow this. It's like taking, 4-leg NFL favorites parlay, and like they're all 10-point favorites. One team blows them.
Yep, one team absolutely will.
All right. And then the last thing here that I wanted to touch on with you, where are our series lines here? Series lines. Nuggets, Blazers. Series lines. Very, very close. You were bullish on Avs to win in 4.
Yep.
So I want to know where you stand on the Nuggets here. You can actually bet series correct score.
Yeah. To me, what's it at now? Minus 114 for the... Oh, that's the first game. But it was minus 120. 117 now? Yeah. Honestly, I think that's a pretty well set line. I think the Nuggets should be favored. To me, I've talked with Eric D-Line about this plenty a couple nights ago. He's much higher on the Nuggets. I, at this point, have some concerns about this series. I'm higher on the Nuggets. Maybe like if you wanted to find a way to bet on them to Western Conference make it to the Western Conference Finals, I like that sort of bet. Available. There's just I don't know what this team is going to be in the playoffs. It might be that they just need a little bit more to beat a team with Dame and CJ McCollum. So I think that's a well set line. To me, I want to watch a game before I bet on it. I would kind of like... I wonder what the odds are to go, like, at least 6 games. I would really like that.
Over 5.5, you're not going to like it. It's minus 240.
Yeah, and that's just not quite... If it was anything in the minus 100s, I would have liked it. And to go 7 games, I don't love that either. What is them to make the Western Conference Finals?
Check this out.
Because that should be a decent... great value, honestly.
You can parlay the Nuggets to win Game 1 and win the series at plus 150.
So that I like. That I do like. Yeah. Because I do think that if they're going to win it, they're going to get that first game at home.
Haven't the Nuggets, though, always had slow starts?
They've come back from 3-1 twice last year.
And then didn't they lose Game 1 of the San Antonio series and the Portland series that year? I don't know about the Portland.
I don't know either. But I will say that I think that's a small enough sample size that I'm not going to say that this Nuggets team always starts slow in the playoffs,
What I can say with a solid sample size is this Nuggets team almost always goes to 7 games with who they're playing.
That is true.
4 out of the last 5 series went to 7 games. So I kind of like Nuggets to win the series 4-3 at plus 400.
I could get in on that. I definitely don't not like that pick. I could get in on it. If there was like a 6+ and Nuggets win, that's where I might feel a little more comfortable.
It's kind of a cool thing. Like, we always talk about Game 7s and how they're the most amazing thing in sports. Mm-hmm. At least for me, I always forget what that feeling is like until it comes back. Like, I can't remember. Like, I know just in general, you're anxious and whatnot, but like, I'm trying to think back to the way I felt before that Game 7 against the Jazz, and all I remember is just it's intense, but once it happens again, you're like, oh, this is what it feels like. Yeah,
it is. It is just different. I'm so excited. That first Nuggets game was incredible. To be honest, though, I expect the Nuggets to win. I expect the Avs to win, and so there is a little bit different feeling. Saturday when the Nuggets play the Blazers, that's going to be a game that I'm really excited for, and the nerves are going to be all over.
Highly recommend coming down to the bar this weekend for any of the games. We got Friday night Avs, Saturday night Nugs, Sunday day Avs, a little Sunday fun day. Mm-hmm. If you're coming on Friday or Saturday night, just get here as early as you can.
Yeah. Those are going to be so much fun. Honestly, Nuggets and Avs, I'm either going to be at the arena or at the bar for every game.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy. All right.
Yeah.
We got an awesome super chat here from James. He says, "What's up, boys? Put a DNVR bet on a Miko hat trick tonight on me.
Wow.
Go Avs." I
love it.
We have no choice.
I love it. No, we
just
don't.
Paid for it.
He did. It's gonna happen. Now I kind of feel like I might make my own little bet. Maybe half a unit on there. Okay, when this is over, we're going to have a couple of drinks before we head over to the game. During that time, I'm going to convince you to also place a bet on Miko to get hat trick.
I mean, I'm just going to take James' super chat and put it.
That's the DNVR bet.
Well, we don't have a DNVR account. I have to be the representative.
That is true. That is true.
All right.
That is true. I'm in.
Did you talk about this, Carla?
Thoughts? See, Austin always does this to me. Actually, everyone always does this to me. Steph over threes. Okay, we know I like that one.
Yep.
Miko shots. We know I like that
Yep.
one. Then you throw in Brewers money line. I don't know anything about the Brewers.
Let me see who they're playing.
Christian Yelich, so they're not very good right now.
Michaela from the Peanut Gallery saying that they don't have Christian Yelich right now and they aren't good.
They're playing the
Because of it.
Royals, though.
Won by a threat.
What can you tell me about Brad Keller? Is that a guy we know anything about? I agree.
So you've got
No.
something Burns. Not Montgomery Burns, but another.
I wish, though.
Corey Burns? Corbin Burns. See,
Corbin
I'm telling you, I
Burns.
don't know anything about the Brewers. He's got a 1.57 ERA, so that's very good.
That is good.
Going up against a guy who has a 6.75 ERA.
Which is bad.
That's very bad.
Yeah, never
These
mind.
are the
That's a
types
good
of-
pick.
This is the type of analysis you get here. He's got a .64 whip.
Oh,
Amazing.
Yeah, that's walks hitched per innings pitched.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Brady.
And he's got
Yep.
34 of those innings pitched. So solid sample.
Yeah, I would say so.
All right, Montgomery, Corey Corbin Burns for the win.
There is maybe no funnier cartoon character than Monty Burns. It's right up there. It's right up there. Like seriously,
With a
like
hot take.
there's
You know what's funny is Hank has been referred to as a sweet boy on this very podcast before.
not for good reasons.
But Hank, he knows some things about like older stuff.
I know. I have a weird knowledge. A lot of it doesn't come up. Like honestly, this whole pandemic, I've just learned everything about all the wars. Has not come up once. Like not once has somebody been like, so Vietnam, and I had something smart to say.
Isn't that weird?
Even yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
I know, but when you're like learning, you're like, oh, I'm gonna sound so smart.
To mess with you, RK. I know you have no.
See? But if you didn't mess with me, we wouldn't get Montgomery, Corey, Corbin Burns.
He's hilarious because it's not just like there's like good, just well written jokes. There's so much good visual humor with him. You know, like where he's just so weak, just like he can't pick things. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like an awesome blend.
I mean, I wouldn't say one of the funniest characters in history, but
Cartoon history.
cartoon history.
Cartoon history.
A solid.
What
solid,
you like SpongeBob?
No.
Oh,
I'm not, I mean, I
Anti-SpongeBob.
know SpongeBob. I'm not anti-SpongeBob. Like I'm more of like a South Park.
who though? Who's
the
number
funniest
one
in
in
South
South
Park?
Park?
Randy.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Like my brain just went to Cartman right away. I was like, it's kind of like a basic. He needs other people to feed off of. Like I feel like Randy's a good one.
Allie, when Henry's on the show, people expect this type of content.
It's true. It is true.
But we are done.
There are just
Do we-
some conversations that are not needed to have.
Randy's a good one.
People need to come to the bar.
Cream
to
fraiche.
experience this.
Austin Novak says beers on me
Yeah.
if we run into each other at the game tonight. I hope we've won you lots
Yes.
of bets because each one of those beers is like 3 units.
Also, if that's the deal, then I am running around that arena trying to run into Austin
Oh,
Novak.
yeah. Yeah, true. If you see
Yeah.
us there, wave us down, flag us down, awkwardly yell our names from far away.
Yeah.
Then we like turn around and we're trying to find you and we can't find you.
It's the
And we're
best.
like, where? I hear my name, but I don't know where. And then you do it again, but now you're feeling kind of awkward because people are
Yeah.
staring at you who aren't
Yeah.
us.
Yep.
Do it up. We love that stuff.
Yep. And it turns out it's just like some guy whose friend's in the bathroom named Ryan.
Yep.
Yep.
Classic.
Classic.
All right. Have a good night. See you guys.
Bye.